Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Shalom Shai by Hashem Rakak Padash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutations to all my fellow laborers and Akim that do this work in truth and sincerity, to the confusion and thanks Akim that are joined unto our ranks, the hopefully elect, the Akwaf that are listening and learning. Disclaimer: we do not associate with anything that is black identity. We are the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. The history, the relics, prove such matters. All right, we are the Hebrew Israelites by blood. It's not a color thing. We do not identify with any sort of made-up terms such as black identity extremists in any way, form, or fashion. We're not associated with any other group. All right. Now, to start this lesson, this is called brain-to-brain interface. The next generation social network is on the True String Media. I highly suggest that you people who are listening and learning diligently, or just seeking the truth, this is a really good channel to subscribe to, because they point out a lot of information about things that are ignored by the mainstream media, but yet has a very solid impact on society. And all this social networking is basically being put together to further the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. And this is the step, because Esau wants to become godlike. As a matter of fact, let's get 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. And it reads, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." And that being Esau, Edom, and the Israelites fell away and forgot who they were, fulfilling that prophecy. And at the same time, the Son of Man has been revealed, which is Esau, Edom. His actions: who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple as God, showing himself that he is God. And he did just so. All right, and he still tries to do so with his science. And the first thing he did was he used images. And the image of Cesare Borgia was put all over the world. That was the first step. They went throughout Europe, committing iconoclasm, destroying all the images of the dark images, the ones that they could, except for there were so many they couldn't get to them all. All right, like this one of that 5th century church, which I always forget. It was a monastery of black angels with afros, and and people still try to defend that fact to say that those weren't images of so-called Negroes, but Negroes are only people that walked around with afros, beards, and cornrows. And the relics of the Hebrew Israelites found all throughout the Mideast, and even in different parts of Europe, where they one of the places where they scattered to after the diaspora, prove it. This is definitely physical evidence and proof of it. That would be Psalms 85 and 11, how the earth spring forth truth. The relics that are left behind throughout Europe prove that point, even though you have people foolish enough to try and argue with that. But it is what it is. All right, but and he set himself up to be God, and the final part of his plan is coming into place, and that's with the RFID chip. All right, and this technology now will go right along with it. So without any further ado, let's let it play, so you can, kind of get a grip on what's going on here and how that's going to tie in to the chip.
Flashing at 15 hertz and the other at 17 hertz, which produces a transmagnetic cranial stimulation signal in the brain that's then translated into EEG brain waves, and then that is sent over the internet to the receiver. So they're already doing this, and so BrainNet is specifically designed to work over the internet. It works even across the web So they do have to have some kind of prosthetic EEG cap they put on and some kind of machine that modifies the brain waves according to the decision. But once they have that, the people can connect and communicate non-verbally just through their brains over the internet. In spite of space or time or even language barriers, people will theoretically be able to work together in a group communication using their minds alone. And
that's kind of like a hive type, insect type reality. That's how colonies of ants communicate, colonies of bees, colonies of termites. This is how they operate. And Esau's trying to mimic that and yet be in control of it. So if you watch the movie, what was that movie? Upgrade. That's what they were showing you. You know, so you take a chip, you put it in your hand, or you take that chip and you put it in your brainstem, and now you have exactly what they're talking about on this show. Why? Because Esau is trying to be godlike. And let's get another scripture to prove that. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2:12, and it reads, "Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. He is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with his offending of the law, and objective to our infancy, that transgression of our education." So Esau's trying to force his way and be godlike, and we're opposed to it, and they have a problem with it. And very much this hive-like mentality is going to come with great violence. All right, and what you have to understand too is that when hives take over other hives, it's with great violence. When you watch an ant colony take over another colony, it's with great violence. When you watch an ant colony attack a termite colony, it's with great violence. When you watch hornets attack a bee colony, it's with great violence. So what do you think is going to come along with this mind-to-mind connection control? Okay, let's get in one more scripture and we'll let the video play some more. This is Proverbs 1 and 11, and it reads, "If they say, 'Come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause.'" And that's exactly what they're doing. They're setting up this system where if you go against it, they'll just destroy you with great violence, man. All right? They're trying to create a one body on the left-hand side. Let us all say the same thing on the left-hand side versus following what the scriptures say. All right? Because on the right-hand side, the Lord set up his body to work in a similar fashion, but according to righteousness, according to the scriptures. But Esau's trying to do the same thing on the left-hand side. And the RFID microchip is going to play a big role in that. Because it could be multiple chips, one for connection, one for control.
The literal definition of a hive mind. We've heard about the coming of a hive mind. This is one giant step forward for mankind towards no longer being human and becoming something else. Definition 1, the property of apparent sentience in a colony of social insects acting as a single organism. Each insect performing a specific role for the good of the group. Second definition, a collective consciousness analogous to the behavior of social insects, in which a group of people become aware of their commonality and think and act as a community, sharing their knowledge, thoughts, and resources. And they use as an example the global hive mind that's emerged with Twitter and Facebook. Just a metaphor, right?
There you go.
The second part of that definition, such a group mentally characterized by uncritical conformity and a loss of sense of individuality and personal accountability. Well, that's the danger, isn't it? But the scientists at Cornell are, of course, not the only people working on it. Melissa reported on this several months ago with the work of Regina Dugan and Facebook in their Building 8 research collective, where they're working on some very serious and far-reaching, futuristic technological things.
So social media is very invasive into your personal life, and it also is a form of control. All right? And just to give you a great example of how that can be done, I'm going to click to another video because he showed you Facebook and Twitter. And what happens on Facebook and Twitter? Challenges. This dance challenge. The ice bucket challenge. This challenge. And what? That's a mind and a hive set mentality. So they're using social media to help build this mindset or get people to agree with it. So this is Proverbs 11:6. And it says, the words of the wicked are to lie and wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. And I'm speaking uprightly through the scriptures to try to deliver people from this madness, this hive mentality, like a damn, colony of ants. The wicked are overthrown, they are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. So when they try to ace in the sufficiency of the, when they're trying to fulfill their bellies, man, the Lord's going to bring them down. That's exactly what's happening. That's what you're seeing. Okay? As a matter of fact, now let me get another scripture. This is now I'll click to this video just to further show you on how social network and the hive mentality is already being pushed on you. This is Isaiah 5:7-9, and it reads, their feet run to evil, they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their paths. And this, Esau is the hammer of the earth, man. And every place he goes, he destroys. Not to mention that the technology involved in building all these sort of devices, the technology leaves residue of decay. All sorts of chemicals that get put back into the water, back into the soil, back into the air. In order to, all this technology destroys, it is giving them their ultimate control, but at the same time they're destroying the very place that we have to live. Hence the reason why they're trying to live underground and live underwater and trying to live in space and things of that nature, because they're destroying the surface of the earth where we have to live. The very water, the air that we need to breathe. And a lot of this technology is doing that. So this technology is actually hurting us more than it's helping us. Why? Because Esau is clean contrary to the way of the Lord, which the Bible is actually the perfect book to show you how to live in harmony with the earth, that the earth will give you its fullest. But they don't follow the land Sabbaths or the laws that the Lord provided, which is why the earth is in such a messed up array, and people are just so unhealthy and sickly. Collectively. Okay? Verse Isaiah 59:8. The way of peace they know not. There is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. And wherever Esau Edom is, there is and will be no peace. So let's click to this video just to give you an example of what yeah, there it is. Let me turn the sound down. All right. So this video right here is showing you this little cartoon alien doing this dance, and I've seen the video of the dude on the green screen that actually does it. And then what are they showing you? All these goofy heathens and people around the earth trying to mimic it. Okay? This dude looks like an alien. He done painted himself with soot or something. He looking green. And he's doing a horrible job, man. But there you go. This is the actual guy who did it. That's the green screen. And and you're just going to see all these heathens and people around the world through social networking. I'm pretty sure that was done in America, but yet you got people around the world trying to mimic this. And they don't know how silly they are, and this goes to show you how easily controlled the masses are, man. I'm just going through this video. There you go. This thing, how something spreads around the world, man. These heathens are so saltless, man. All right? I mean, they can't even do wickedness with flavor. But you know, that's what we're talking about. That mindset, and how, you know, through social media you can control the mindset of millions and millions upon millions of people. All right. So let's go back. Oh, now it won't let me. But you know, we'll just pause it there. You get the point. We'll just finish with some scriptures. And next scripture is Psalms. Psalms 125 and verse 5. And it reads, "As for such as turn aside unto their crooked ways, Yahweh shall lead them forth with the workers of iniquity, but peace shall be upon Israel." So peace is going to be established upon us. None of this stuff is going to work, man. Like the scripture says, you know, in the fullness of his sufficiency, you know, the Lord's going to destroy him, roughly paraphrase, man. So right as Esau, you know, and he's in, you know, Cornell University, man, that, you know, that's a highly accredited and acclaimed place of higher, place of higher learning, man. And that's where they're working on this brain to brain technology, where you can because they're trying to be godlike. As the video starts off, you know, I didn't play that part, with one person sending the information and two people working on it, and they're using their brains to solve a Tetris problem or something, but they're practicing on using this technology, man, because this is where they want everyone, the elites want everyone to be controlled and work for them and have a mindset to please them. They're trying to be godlike. They're trying to set up their own kingdom of heaven here on earth, because the scriptures clearly say that all the nations of the world will be at peace, and they will all be tributaries unto the Israelites, who are going to rule over them when the Lord comes back. That's basically what the Bible is all about from front to end. You know, about the Israelites. Them, when they were in control, when they sinned and went off, when they got scattered among the heathen, all right, as punishment, and when they wake up to who they are, the world will be in turmoil with wars, rumors of wars, and all these famines and disease running rapid, plagues, all that is happening. And in the midst of that, the Israelites are waking up and reclaiming their nationality, as the established governments and powers will be in opposition of that and try to demonize them, you know, and will destroy some of them. Then the Lord will come back, you know, and strike them down and set the Israelites up, and everyone will be shocked at who the Israelites really are and be amazed at their salvation. And then all the other nations will be tributaries unto the Israelites. Revelation 13, 9, and 10 will come into play. You know, all the other nations will go into slavery, especially the nation of Edom. Okay? Last scripture, which is 2 Corinthians 10, 5, and 6, and it reads, "Casting down imaginations of everything that exalteth itself against the knowledge of power, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach, and having a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled." All right. So what's that revenge? Destruction coming upon the 2/3. All right, and then they'll be born back into the kingdom and back into their lot and be righteous, and the perpetual enslavement of the other nations forever and ever. They will go back to their lands, live in peace, but they will forever be tributaries under the one world government, which will be the government that's set up by the Lord through Yahweh Bashan Abishai and his 144,000, who will be the government over the world forever. Forever. All right? Revelation 13 and 10. "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints." The saints are patiently waiting to be the rulers of the earth in righteousness. And all the world would actually be, living in peace. But they will forever be tributaries after they serve their 1,000 years of hardcore slavery. There's no way around that. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Abashai by Hashem Rakak Wadash and Shalom.